From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your Evening Update.
Daniels Roofing, licensed, bonded, insured roofing contractor. 45 years of generational expertise, offering a variety of roofing systems in the North State. Composition shingles, metal, tile, fire-safe wood shingles, and spray foam roofing systems. An energy-saving cool roof, perfect for commercial flat roofs and mobile homes. With other companies, you may get a foreman or a salesman. But with Daniels Roofing, you get Daniel. Call today for your free estimate. Daniels Roofing, 3 generations working hard to protect your home and business.
Well, the weekend is finally here, and Saturday, tomorrow, is the Manton Apple Festival. It is highly anticipated. I know I look forward to it every year. I'm an apple pie judge and have been for many, many years alongside Michael Quinn, and my wife will be one of the judges as well, and maybe we can get my son Aiden involved. Handmade crafts, apple products and pies, food vendors, live music. It is just a good old time. And on top of that, there is a new event, and it is a celebrity apple pie bake-off, and my wife and I are going to be a team against a couple of other people as well. So come on by, say hello, have some fun, have some apple pie, apple fritters. We're going to have an old-time press, juice, the works. And, you know, what about the weather? How's it going to be? How about beautiful weather? Temperature is not even quite in the 70s, so, you know, the sun is out, but you still have that nice crisp fall air. That's essentially what we got here for the Manton Apple Festival tomorrow. So we will see you there. In the meantime, we are tracking some rain. Now, as I'm recording this, just shortly before 5 o'clock this evening, there were some lightning strikes just the northeast of Red Bluff, but most of the activity, as expected, has been in the eastern mountains. But also, as expected, some of that has been skirting just kind of the east side of the valley here. And the question is, do any of these storms survive their trip down the hill? Because as these storms go down the hill, the air sinks. Sinking air doesn't support thunderstorms, and that's why it's probably going to weaken by the time it hits. However, I think places along Highway 99, just east of Red Bluff and around the Red Bluff area, there may be some showers, maybe even a lightning strike there or two. And the thing is, places like Corning, Chico, there's more activity that we could see develop. But once we get closer to sunset, this is all going to be harder for it to sustain itself. And then we start to dry things out here for tonight. So pleasant weekend ahead. Beautiful fall weather, dry and mild next week with possible rain near the end of next week. All of that in our deeper dive forecast. But first, here is your Krueger's quick cast for those of you who just want to know what to expect for tonight and tomorrow. Tonight there is a freeze warning. It's been updated from a freeze watch to a freeze warning. Basically mid to upper 20s and low 30s, and that could damage or kill sensitive crops. So just be aware of that. If you live in that area, take those necessary precautions. You can see how cold it will be to the north and east of the valley in particular. Those are going to be some of the colder spots. The valley quite chilly as well, dropping down to the low 50s and upper 40s to low 50s for the coast. And with these colder temperatures, I tell you what, we're going to start seeing more of those fall colors out there, especially in the higher elevations, north and east of the valley. That's where it's been coldest, so that's probably where we're going to start seeing more of those fall colors. And going into next week, we probably will start seeing more colors, but that's pretty standard. As we start getting deeper and deeper into fall, those fall colors are really going to start to take shape. So as you go out and about and you're checking out those fall colors, take a snapshot or two and then share them from the free Weather NorCal app, and you just might see it on the morning show, Coffee with Krueger at 6:30 in the morning, or on social media. So share that from the free Weather NorCal app. All right, out the door for your Saturday morning. You're getting up ready to go to the Manton Apple Festival. Well, how about those temperatures? In the valley, low 50s. In Trinity County, low 40s. Generally in the 30s, though, for the higher elevations. It's going to be chilly to start off the day for some of those higher elevations. Now, the area of low pressure that's been giving us the showers mainly to the east of the valley, and of course some of the activity getting close to the valley, that's scooting on out of here, and high pressure is building in, and it's going to warm up, but not by a lot. So again, there's a look at Futurecast, and we could see some of that activity just try to make its way into parts of the valley here as we go into the evening hours. But once the sun sets, most of this is out of here, even in the higher elevations, and we are dry. And here's the beautiful part of it. Yes, we are still going to see some of that fog, especially around Humboldt Bay and parts of the coast, and some afternoon clouds for some of the higher elevations, but I don't anticipate any rain. I don't anticipate any thunderstorms either. Look at the highs in the valley, not quite 80. Mid to upper 70s, in the mountains, 60s, and even some 70s in there, and low to mid 60s for the coast. Mostly sunny skies. Beautiful, beautiful fall day for your Saturday. Looking at your 7-day forecast, dry weather. It gets a little bit warmer. We're talking mid-80s by next Tuesday, but then temperatures start to drop again after that. Taking you out to the coast, inland and for Trinity County, also a little bit of that increase in the temperatures, but still dry through the week. And Mount Shasta, Alturas, and Susanville, also dry for the next 7 days. But I am seeing in the long range the potential for some showers possibly by the end of next week or into that next weekend. So that's what it's looking like for now. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at your deeper dive forecast as we kind of take a closer look at what we can expect, not only as we go through the weekend, but what we can expect here for next week as well. So again, we look at the satellite image. The area of low pressure is spinning right here. On the back side of that, that's what's been bringing us the showers and even the thunderstorms we've seen in the eastern mountains and even skirting the east side of the valley. Around Red Bluff, seeing some of that activity here, and not to mention maybe even the potential south of that into Corning and maybe even Chico before the evening is over. But by the time the sun sets, a lot of this energy is going to break up and we'll be looking at much drier conditions after that. So again, we take a look at Futurecast, and so this is not exactly on par with where the storms are at this point at 6 p.m., but you did see that one near Red Bluff. So yeah, it could possibly hit Red Bluffs. Now, as more develop, if they should develop, we could see maybe around Corning or Chico, Oroville, maybe getting caught up in that. But again, this is something I mentioned earlier. What you need for showers and thunderstorms to develop is rising air. When you have these thunderstorms and the showers in general moving down the mountains, what is that? Well, it's moving down the mountains and the air starts to sink. And as a result, these storms start to lose some of their strength. However, if they are strong enough and they hold on to some of their energy, they can make their way into the valley. And it happens from time to time. And we could see that here this evening as well. So as we go into the evening, though, the sun is one of the big sources of that energy on top of the area of low pressure. And once that sun sets, it's drying out. And then we're dry for the weekend. You do see some fog around Humboldt Bay, patchy fog for the coast, maybe some afternoon clouds for some of the higher elevations, but no showers, no thunderstorms, as I mentioned, for your Saturday. Beautiful fall weather going into your Sunday as well. Sunday morning, especially around Humboldt Bay, yeah, you're seeing that fog, but look at that. You've got some sunshine for the coast here for a good portion of the day on Sunday, and really for most of Northern California, some beautiful weekend fall weather. We take a look at the long, big story here. That's what I've got. That's what we're looking at for next week. This area of low pressure is going to dive down to the south. The timing, the intensity, the placement of this is going to most likely change as we go through next week. Could it be here a day or two earlier? Possibly. Could it take a little bit longer than Friday or Saturday? Sure, we'll see. But for now, I'm keeping next week dry and then maybe some showers by that next weekend. In the meantime, a little bit of a warming trend going through next week. It does peak. Ooh, looks like there's a little update there. It does peak on Tuesday with temperatures in the mid-80s, and the temperatures start to drop, and then we're in the low 70s by the time we get to Thursday, Friday, and into the weekend. There's a look at those wave heights. They are dropping. Shouldn't be much of an issue if you do need to be on a small boat. They may start to show signs of increasing, though, on Sunday. So your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. We're going to go and start off with Trinity County, as we typically do, with temperatures in the mid-70s on average, dry and a little bit warmer as we do go into next week. You're going to notice it's going to be dry for pretty much everyone. Your Dignity Health North Coast neighborhood forecast. Well, for the coast, you're talking temperatures mid-60s, give or take, for the next 7 days. No big surprises, no big changes. Temperatures for the inland area, 76 for Orleans for your Saturday, 78 in Willow Creek. Could get in the upper 80s by the time we get into Monday and Tuesday before temperatures start to drop again. Your Dignity Health Siskiyou County neighborhood forecast. Yeah, your temperatures are going to be in the 60s, around 73 for Happy Camp. There's again that little bit of a spike on Tuesday, and then temperatures do start to drop. And really across the board, that's what we're looking at. Temperatures increasing, peaking sometime around Tuesday, Wednesday, and then they will start to drop. But again, the other story is the fact that at this point, it looks dry through next week, including the eastern mountains here. 74 degrees for Wednesday for Susanville, and then back down to the 60s by Thursday and Friday. And your Dignity Health neighborhood forecast for the Valley, there you can see those temperatures are going to be in the mid-70s here for your Saturday. And looking at that 7-day forecast for Chico, mid to upper 70s for the weekend, low 80s for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, back in the 70s by Thursday and Friday. We take you up to the north, yeah, not quite reaching 80, although some of us could, but you're talking basically upper 70s for places like Redding, Palo Cedro, even Red Bluff. And your 7-day forecast for Redding, Well, there it is. Just a beautiful fall weekend is what we're looking at here. Temperatures in the low to mid 80s for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, back down to the 70s by Thursday, Friday, and dry. Well, that is your evening update for your Friday. I, of course, am off this weekend, but be sure to keep checking in over the weekend with Chase Wilson. He'll have your latest forecast and give you updates 3 times a day, 6 a.m., noon, and 6 p.m. Have yourselves a great weekend, and we will see you on Monday.